Hi, I'm Eve Rochman, Director of Zera Café and Catering. We are a not-for-profit social enterprise catering business that trains and employs young adults of all abilities to work in kitchens. And we work right here in the Shar Zion kitchen every day, making delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Chanukah is coming up, and of course here in Montreal we eat potato latkes, but in Israel people eat cheese latkes. So today I will take you through a recipe for broccoli cottage cheese pancakes that come from a cookbook called Sababa by Adina Sussman, very popular cookbook. And let's get started. So to make these latkes or pancakes, in Israel cottage cheese is a much higher fat cottage cheese than we have in Montreal. It's not a diet food. It's anywhere from 5 to 9%. We can use 4% cottage cheese here, or you can use, I'm using ricotta cheese, which is anywhere between 10 and 12%. You can use whatever you like. We need broccoli, some dill. The recipe calls for chives, but we're using green onions because that's what we had. Some eggs, flour. If you want to make these gluten-free, you can certainly replace the flour with rice flour. Salt, pepper, and baking powder. So it's really a very simple recipe. So I'm going to get started. First things first, we're going to put in the broccoli. This is half a small head of broccoli chopped, about 1.5 cups. And then we're going to add in whether it's cottage cheese or ricotta cheese. In my case, ricotta cheese. Some green onions, 2 tablespoons, or chives. 2 tablespoons of chopped dill. We're also going to put in the flour or the rice flour, depending on what you're using. Some baking powder. So it's just all getting thrown into a bowl, as you can see. We need 1 tablespoon of salt. You can use a little more or less if you're watching your salt, if you prefer less salt. And a half a teaspoon, this has already been measured, a half a teaspoon of pepper. And last but not least, 2 eggs. So I'm just going to crack them into the bowl first to make sure I don't get any shells in them. So there's one. And also to check. That's kind of funny. And then another one. There we go. Okay, so now all we need to do is mix this all together until you have one even mixture. Okay, so we're mixing. It's nearly all combined. You want to make sure everything is combined together. If you're using cottage cheese, I'm using ricotta, the mixture might be a little runnier because cottage cheese has more liquid in it than ricotta. Ricotta is thicker, so it might look a little runnier, but it will hold together as long as you've used the flour. So here we go. I've got a mixture, and we're just about ready to take it to the pan to fry. The recipe calls for olive oil. We can fry it in olive oil, or if you prefer, you can also fry it in canola oil. The difference is that olive oil tends to get a lot hotter, and so the latkes will be a bit darker. The canola oil, on the other hand, has a higher smoking point, so they will not be quite as dark. So it's really up to you. Okay, so we're ready now to take this to our frying pan and start frying these up. Okay, so we need about a tablespoon of olive oil in a medium hot pan. So I'm going to measure it by eye. So about a tablespoon. The recipe calls for 3, but to be used in batches as you fry. And we need about 3 tablespoons of batter at a time. So this is 1/8 of a cup, which is 2. I'm filling it very high, and I'm just dropping it down. I'm going to wait for the oil. You need the oil to be, as I say, medium hot. Mine's just starting to sizzle. And then we will flatten these down, just getting them out of the cup. We'll just make a few at a time so you see how they work. Maybe one more. Okay, just so we don't crowd the pan. It's never good to crowd the pan. I'll take a little more out of this one. And then what you can do is flatten. Now, this pan isn't perfectly straight. Hopefully your pan will have oil evenly everywhere. So let's flatten these guys out a little. And we will let them fry for about 2 or 3 minutes on a side until we try to turn them. So it's been about 2 minutes. We're going to flip these. You could use a spatula or 2 forks. There we go. I'm going to just lower the heat a little bit. another minute or two on this side. All right, I think they're ready. I'm going to show it to you. Down. So if you want to make sure that they're not too greasy, you can line a container with a paper towel just to drain the fat or the oil. But these don't really come out too greasy. So we'll put them there. Okay, and look, these are latkes that I'm proud of. So now should we go plate them? Okay, so now we're ready to serve them. We're going to put them right on a serving plate. This is just to make them look a little fancy. And they can be served with a little bit of sour cream. So we can put a dollop of sour cream right here in the middle, in case some people don't want sour cream. And you just garnish it with a little bit of dill. And it's going to look something like the picture in the cookbook. I hope you enjoy making these latkes at home, and I wish you a very happy and healthy Chanukah.